Hey guys, it's Peyton, and today I have more Hunger Games news. I'm acting like I'm getting it all the time. I'm not. But today is a special day. October 16th, we actually got some more news for the Hunger Games book, Sunrise on the Reaping. If you have been on my channel for a while, you know I'm a huge Hunger Games fan. It's like the biggest thing of my life, the only thing that matters to me half the time. And I'm here pretty much every time new news happens. I'm gonna analyze it and talk about it a little bit. Around like 2 months ago, I think, we got the announcement of Sunrise on the Reaping. March 18th, I believe it comes out. It's the latest Hunger Games prequel. We haven't had a book release since 2020, and before that, you know, there was a long gap of nothing, that we didn't have any material for a really long time. It's been quite a crazy movement the last couple years, getting more Hunger Games content, having another movie, having Sunrise on the Reaping announced, and also having the movie announced on the same day. That was a really chaotic time, and I am pretty pleased to exist. I've been having like a terrible time recently in my life. Like, why am I having all these health issues? It sucks. So this is a really nice thing that Suzanne Collins is personally giving me. Like, thank you so much. Sunrise on the Reaping, all we were told is it's gonna take place during the 50th Hunger Games, which is the second quarter quell. And all we really knew about this Hunger Games was that it's double the victors that were reaped for this. That was the special event of this second quarter quill. And one of these victors was Hamish Abernathy, who is the mentor that we know and love from the original Hunger Games trilogy. These books mean everything to me. We knew a lot about what happened to Hamish and his games from a certain chapter in here. Chapter 14, page 188 of Catching Fire goes into Hamish's Hunger Games. That's all we ever got about his Hunger Games, and we saw the way that he rebelled the Capitol as well. And he was kind of an example and someone that gave Katniss her own fear, because she's also rebelling against the Capitol, and Hamish has experience with this in a much lesser fashion than what she did, and it ruined his life, killed his family. Terrible things happened to him because he even dared to do something that the Capitol found offensive. If you want a detailed outline of everything that we got from that chapter, I will link my video down below and you can watch it. Pretty much the question that we had was, who was the protagonist of this new prequel? Is it going to be Hamish himself? Is it going to be Maceley Donner, the female tribute that we learned a lot about from chapter 14? Well, today, not only did we get the ugliest cover ever, let's just be honest, when Ballad of Songbirds and Snakes was announced, this cover also hated it, still hate it to this day, but now I'm used to it. It's ugly in a way that I allowed to happen. Like, I don't enjoy it. I still find this cover upsetting. I just remember seeing it for the first time digitally was a shock, and I think I had a cover reaction video. I probably said I didn't like it, but I was trying to be happy about it, you know? But no, like I did not like it. I do think it's better in person when it's actually on a book. It looks a little bit better. And then there's that like maroon one for the Barnes & Noble paperback. It's become something that I am accustomed to now. It is a part of my life. But I mean, I am not over critiquing how ugly this cover is. I don't know why they did this. I enjoy the purple. I enjoy their commitment to the original covers. Something about it, like these original covers really hit the spot. I think they're very simplistic, get the point across, but are not ugly. Like, I've never thought this was ugly. I don't know, like none of them look ugly to me. There's just something about them, and I know they're old and they've been in our minds for a while, so we have this greater appreciation of them now, but there's something that's different than these two covers. You know, this purple one and this green one, they hit differently than the original three, but they're still along the same concept, so I feel bad hating on it. Like, I appreciate that they want to continue the consistency, but it's just not cute. Like, for some reason, it's not cute. And if we're gonna analyze this cover, I mean, it's giving a crown, like a victor crown, the points. I'm not even looking at it while I'm talking about it. Let me look at it real quick. At the end of the day, it's the cover, and I'm gonna read the book and enjoy the book itself way more than the actual cover. So I don't care that much about the cover. Wish it was cute. Symbolism here, you know, the snake, the Capitol, the mockingjay, the districts, you know, we know what's going on here, and I do like how they're facing each other and obviously we are opposed with each other. This one, they're kind of like canoodling a little bit, you know, they're on the same little tree branchy looking thing, and you know, they're intertwined a little bit. Lucy Gray and Snow have a weird canoodling aspect in this book, but it ends really badly. So Sunrise on the Reaping, you know, we're at that ended really badly moment. It's been many, many years in the future. Super interested to see what portrayal that we could get of Snow at this age. I'm not sure how old he will be, 30s, maybe reaching 40s. I'm not doing quick math in my head right now, but I mean, he was ancient in the original trilogy, young in this one. He's definitely a middle-aged man at this point, but not as ancient as we knew him later on, you know. But yeah, I definitely think we're trying to represent a crown, but also the opposition between the districts and Snow himself, the snake, the biggest snake of them all. So I see the spirit. I do think it'll look better in person, and that's okay. This is okay. I'm here because they dropped a synopsis, and I'm super excited about that. That's what I needed. I need confirmation. Is Hamish Abernathy the protagonist? I was strongly feeling that he was, but there was still the possibility that maybe it was Maceley Donner, or maybe it was someone from the Capitol, maybe it was another district member, I don't know. So I was super excited to get this premise, and I'll put it on the screen while I read it. As the day dawns on the 50th annual Hunger Games, fear grips the districts of Panem. This year, in honor of the Quarter Quell, twice as many tributes will be taken from their homes. Back in District 12, Hamish Abernathy is trying not to think too hard about his chances. All he cares about is making it through the day and being with the girl he loves. When Hamish's name is called, he can feel all his dreams break. He's torn from his family and his love, shuttled to the capital with the 3 other District 12 tributes, a young friend who's nearly a sister to him, a compulsive odds maker, and the most stuck-up girl in town. As the games begin, Hamish understands he's been set up to fail, but there's something in him that wants to fight, and have that fight reverberate far beyond the deadly arena. So love that description. We, for the first time, get a description of all of the other tributes other than just him. We get that confirmation that it is Hamish, so that's super exciting, but the descriptions of the other 3 are really interesting. I haven't really looked too much into other people's analyses of this yet. I mean, I've just seen people excited about it on Twitter. I personally was thinking that Maceley Donner was the stuck-up girl in town. I feel like he doesn't know her yet, and from everything that I remember from chapter 14, they weren't like necessarily friends until they became allies later on. I could be wrong about this. I might need to go back and analyze it again, but I do know that Maceley Donner is the sister of the mayor's wife from the original trilogy. This shit gets really confusing every time I try to explain this. So they come from a little bit more money from District 12 than the average District 12 person. Still not a lot of money. We don't fully know what Maceley Donner's life was like at that time period. Maybe her twin sister was able to reach more money only when she married the mayor, you know? So she might not be this stuck-up girl. I low-key think it is. I feel like it might be a more interesting storyline with them not liking each other very much at first, but then later on becoming allies. That would leave me to wonder about this other male tribute, the compulsive odds maker. That's the other male's tribute, and I wonder how long he's gonna make it. Like, are the other District 12 ones gonna be there for very long? We know that him and Maceley are the only 2 of District 12 that make it down to like the top 6. So the other 2 definitely die. I'm looking back through chapter 14, and there's no inkling really of what Maceley and Hamish thought of each other initially, because we are reading Katniss watching the games. We don't have their perspective, so we don't really know what their dynamic was before their game as allies throughout this Quarter Quell. So I'm just gonna put my theory out there. I think Maceley Donner might be stuck up in his head, and they might be at war with each other a little bit. I could be so dead wrong, but I feel like it might be a little bit not interesting enough if he was already considering her a sister. I don't know. Let me know your thoughts down below if you think that this might be true, that Maceley is the stuck-up girl, and who the heck is the girl that is the sister. I do really want to point out how it mentions the girl he loves. And I think it's the really tragic part of Haymitch's backstory is, from my memory, because of what he did with the force field and the axe. And the Capitol got very mad. They killed his whole family and the girl he loved. It's really sad that all he's really focused on is making sure he gets back to the girl he loves, which I cannot wait to meet this girl. Like, who is she? What's her name? I need some information. It's obviously ending tragically. I would love to learn about her and see who Haymitch cared about, like who was his family, you know? I'm sure he had a lot to care about. It's very sad that he did end up making it to the end, and then because of a simple act of rebellion, that wasn't even really purposeful, it was just trying to survive at all costs possible because of the terrible situation that they put him in. They killed his family. So he won everything, survived a battle of the death of 48 people, children, and they just killed his family. This is going to be such a brutal book to read. I can't wait to read it. I think there's going to be, as always, some really deep, dark topics that she really dives into about our humanity, about the world, like how awful everyone is, how everything is terrible, and I can't wait to see what she has to say with this one, because she always says, I don't write without a purpose. I'm inspired by the world, our own events. So I want to know, like, what is she saying with this one that distinguishes itself from both the ballad and the original trilogy? What inspired her to really get this one out here? Because I don't believe in cash grabs with Suzanne Collins. I literally think she's been sitting in her cabin in the woods for a long time, really lonely, probably living a great life, you know. She's not the one to appear on talk shows, social media. Like, she is secluded to herself. I think she's been missing it. I think she's been missing the act of writing, and she has been able to find important ways to weave in what's going on with our world in her world, with her story. She's so complex with her narratives, and I just think everything she does is very intentional and thought out. So I'm super excited to see what she comes up with this one. And we do have a quote. So our first quote that we have from Sunrise on the Reaping, it's from Haymitch. It says, "They will not use my tears for their entertainment," which very much is reminiscent of the other characters that we know from District 12. Someone put it all together in a tweet, and I was like thankful, because like these are just very powerful lines all put together, and I mean, these are our victors. We love them so much. So PETA said, very similarly, "I don't want to be another piece in their games." One of the best lines ever. And Lucy Gray, "Nothing you can take from me was ever worth keeping." And then we have Katniss, "If we burn, you burn with us." They all have such powerful voices and just hatred for what this world has done for them. I feel like there's not much more I can say about this without just blabbing for like 1,000 years, but I'm super excited. Have the cover, even though it's ugly as frick, we're dealing with it. And we have confirmed POV Haymitch Abernathy. And let me know what you think. Do you think Maislie Donner is the tribute who is the sister that he loves? Or is she the stuck-up girl? I just feel like she's the stuck-up girl. I feel like they have a bad read on each other, and they're gonna have to work through their issues together. So I feel like that's just more interesting. But let me know down below what you think about that. What is your theories? What are you hoping to see throughout this book? Because there's just so much to explore on. The arena itself is so interesting. Check out my other videos on this subject if you have not watched them already. I have like a whole Hunger Games playlist, so there's like a lot. There's a lot to go through. And thank you guys so much for watching this video. I hope you're excited as well, and I'll see you later. Bye.